Okay, so I'm going to try something a bit different. It's currently 9:43 a.m. and the reason I'm still up, because I haven't gone to bed yet, the reason I'm still up is because I was watching Critical Role, which started at when? Hang on. It started at 4 a.m., I think. Oh my god, today's episode was something else. Oh my god, I don't know how I can sleep now or take a nap, because that episode felt like a shot of caffeine strong enough to wake the dead. Seriously. Oh my god, and I just quickly wanted to go through my thoughts. I don't even know why I'm recording this, but I'm thinking maybe it might be a cool thing to do. Since I'm really obsessed with the show, it might be really cool to start every Thursday after watching it to record my thoughts and maybe have a free form podcast with, not as much editing and just kind of chill, a chill space. So, I'm guessing if you're watching this, you probably know what Critical Role is. And I will be talking about the episode that went out on Friday, the 29th of January. I don't know what the episode title is going to be called. All I know is it was epic. I live tweeted the entire thing and I can't even... Oh my gosh. Words fail me. Words fail me. Seriously. What was that episode? Okay, first of all, it starts off, we're oh my gosh, what is with the eye with Bo and Caleb and what's going to happen? And I had a bunch of theories, right? My theory was that they wouldn't be able to sleep again because every time they sleep, they would have a dream, and each dream will imprint a nonagon eye on their body. So my assumption was they wouldn't be able to sleep again. But then, and I thought that would be very interesting for some role-playing sort of elements when you look at it they can't sleep. That means they're going to be weak. They're not going to be able to fight. Is this sort of Lucien's tactic? Is this how he's trying to bring them down? I had a bunch of theories that I basically wrote down. And I was thinking or maybe they need to read the journal 8 more times to get, 8 eyes to complete the 9 to become a nonagon like Lucien. Child. I thought today's episode, was going to be less fighting, less battles, and more role-playing, I felt like they were going to confront Lucien about it. I felt like they were going to try to figure out the thing with the eyes, and they just spent the first couple of minutes of the episode doing that, and then boom, they just went into it, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, it's good. I guess it's good that the Mighty Nine were able to sleep. So, that's good. That sort of, what's the word for not confirming? It disproves my theory. But still, oh my goodness gracious me. What was this episode? And also, I was thinking maybe we can get a little bit of Yasha and Bo, They've been waiting to get into the tower. Maybe something is going to happen. And then I thought, okay, if that doesn't happen, maybe we can even see... Because in the previous episode, I don't know if maybe I'm the only one who picked up on this, but Lucien was kind of flirting with Caleb. So I thought, let's see where that goes. Maybe it's just going to be a little bit of fun, some hijinks, some practical jokes. I spent the entire 7 days waiting for this to happen, or 6 days or whatever, waiting for this episode. I spent it thinking, oh my gosh, I can't wait to, hear some more jester hijinks and all the fun stuff and all the classic stuff. And I'm I've been stressed out, so I'm gonna just chill. I'm looking forward to this. I'm holding off on doing a lot of things to watch this episode so I can relax, so I can enjoy. Oh my god. It's words fail me. Starting first off with the encounter with the dragon. That came out of nowhere. And I was so excited. Is one thing I love about Critical Role is how excited the players they get for like encounters. And so when the whole possibility of a dragon encounter came, I was like, okay, this kind of out of nowhere. And I'm not one who really watches Critical Role for the battles. They're cool, but they're just not my thing because, I don't know, maybe it's because I have a hard time tracking, like rules and stuff like that. I'm not that familiar with that aspect of D&D, and I'm more into the role-playing and the fantasy aspects and all that kind of stuff. But, it's a dragon. It was really cool. And Travis was so excited, and seeing his excitement, I was like, yeah, it's going to be fun. They're going to have a lot of fun. And Travis really wanted to fight a dragon. And so I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's gonna be cool. Okay, that's fine, whatever. And the battle was okay, I guess. The battle with the dragon, there wasn't anything. It was great, but it wasn't something that like stood out to me. Ooh. And then during the battle, Veth, Sam's character, was like, I want to kill Otis. And I was just thinking, Veth, she kind of has a slight maniacal sort of like aura about her. She just like she seems slightly sketchy and morally questionable at the best of times. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's not out of character. That I didn't think much of it, and I'm guessing nobody else thought much of it. But given what happens later, I wonder if Matt at that moment was freaking out. Because during that battle, right, I'm guessing if you watch, by the way, spoilers. Because during that battle, Otis got close to Ford and took the bag of holding from him, stole the bag of holding from him. And it was just so sly the way it happened. We didn't think much of it. Sam was making the joke about having like Ford, like, I don't know, maybe it was Liam who made the joke about Ford being the, clown car of halflings. Because like both Otis and Veth, I keep saying not, but Otis and Veth, halflings, they were hiding behind, they were stealthing behind Ford. And we didn't think much of it. It was just like, yeah, it's a fun little moment. It's like, oh, it's cool. Oh my gosh. But anyway, the fight with the dragon is over. The dragon runs away. They're tired. They go into the tower. They have a meal. They chill. They relax. They talk. They find out that the bag of holding is missing. They connect the dots. And they realize that the bag of holding went missing when Otis went behind Ford to hide behind Ford. Oh, that sleight of hand check must have been. Well, I don't even know what Ford's passive, perception is. So I don't know. But like even I didn't see that coming out of anywhere. And just imagine because Veth joked about killing Otis because she was like, guys, should we kill Otis? I really want to kill Otis. And Sam said that multiple times. So just imagine, oh my God. Just imagine how different this episode would have turned out. It would have been like 3 hours. If Veth had attacked Otis, I doubt she would have killed him because as we later find out, Otis is actually pretty OP. But if she had attacked him while he was behind Ford, right, while he was trying to steal the bag of holding from Ford, the bag of holding holds, the I think it's called the threshold crest. I'm not sure. I forget. If you're listening to this, just know that I'm not really, knowledgeable about the details and stuff like that. That's not my jam. I just like I just like Critical Role for the fun. I barely pay attention at the best of times. But what was I saying? Yeah, if Veth had attacked Otis when he was behind Ford, of course she wouldn't have killed him, but they would have seen, like, something would have happened. He would have, dropped the bag of holding or something. Oh my God. And how did, okay, so, right. Ford didn't notice, right? And I'm guessing maybe Ford's passive perception is not that high. But Veth should have noticed. I wonder what Rosemount was making in the background to make all of that happen. Seriously. Anyway. But yeah. So the bag of holding is gone, and the tomb takers have left Caleb's, nine-sided tower of awesomeness, or whatever it's called. But yeah, so they run after them with the intent of getting the bag of holding back. And so it's the Mighty Nine versus the Tomb Takers. And I'm like, shit. Another battle. Really, another battle. I'm just not looking forward to another battle or whatever. Like I said before, I'm not really into battles. They're great. They're fun. They can be very entertaining. But, it's not really my cup of tea. They're not for me. But this one was different. I was invested because I was like, they need to get their bag of holding, because it's not just the threshold crest that is in the bag of holding, but I'm guessing it's a lot of other valuable things for the party as well. It's also Vesterogna's body. I wanted to say Vecna because I was just listening to campaign 1, but it's Lady Vesterogna's body as well, and a bunch of other things that I'm sure they need that is in that bag of holding. So it's a pretty big deal. They need to get that bag of holding. So they they turn into owls or whatever, and they set out to battle the Tomb Takers, and it just doesn't go well. It really doesn't go well for them. Oof. And the great thing about it was the first fight was kind of like a tester. The fight against the dragon, the white dragon, was kind of a tester, right? It was sort of to feel out, to see what the Tomb Takers can actually do. And so from that they were able to gain some insight. But this battle for hours had me on edge. So many times it seemed like they would pull through, and then something would happen and they wouldn't be able to pull through. And it's just so obvious that they were in over their heads. And like they went in, they were like, okay, we're just going to sneak in. We're going to get our bag of holding. We're going to kidnap Otis or something. By the way, my new thing is like, I passionately hate Otis right now. And I know I'm not the only one. I was live tweeting this episode and I like critters all over the world agreed with me. But, yeah, so their thing was like, oh, we're going to go sneak in on them, take our bag of holding, maybe kidnap one of them, and then just go. And the battle just turned sour. And it turns out Lucian has this cone of anti-magic. It's just crazy. And so, like, immediately, Caduceus is out of commission, which is frightening, absolutely frightening. And just watching them having to figure it out, and like this battle that wasn't planned, and it was just tense the entire time. So many times, so many members almost died, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be a TPK, it's gonna be a TPK, it's gonna be a TPK, it's gonna be a TPK. Oh my god. But that was just wild. And another thing that was weird was, okay, so sorry this doesn't have any structure or whatever, it's just free form talk. I doubt I'm even gonna edit this when I upload it. But yeah, going back to the first fight they had against the dragon, it was weird because the dragon was an ice dragon, right? And so it's like cold and all that kind of stuff, and fire does damage. So you would think that would be the perfect, place for Caleb to shine, but I remember noting that he didn't really shine in that battle, right? And then the second battle is because instead of using fire, he tried to use a slow spell, which didn't work, which is like really weird because, like, I mean, come on, Caleb is our favorite pyromaniacal, emotionally unstable hobo wizard. Like, that's his thing. It's fire. So you'd think against an ice dragon, he would be in his element, but I guess not. But the fun thing about I guess that's what makes critical role so great, right? It's not about what people expect of the players. It's just about them, the players, having fun, doing whatever they want to do. And that's what I love about it so much. It's so unexpected. But yeah. And in the second fight as well, it was frightening experiencing. Hang on, I'm going to pull up my live tweets to see if I'm like forgetting. Oof. And Travis was having so many theories about, what the eyes and stuff like that did. Hang on. Oh yeah, Lucian has legendary actions and legendary reactions, so that's frightening. This is just fun. And it's terrible. And there was a moment where Caduceus was almost killed by Lucian. And how fucking amazing would it have been if Taliesin's character was killed by a character he created? Oh my god, that would have been crazy. But there were so many times when characters almost died, and like the entire time of the battle, I was like, my heart was like beating really fast. I was like having a panic attack. Like, ooh, it was anxiety inducing, because I was like, oh, we're just gonna have a really cute episode where they'd go talk to Essek, and like Jester does some weird Jester spells, and like, Yasha and Bo. Ooh, none of that happened. Instead, they had 2 battles within the space of 1 day, so they didn't even have a full rest before they went into the second battle. That's frightening. Oh my gosh, that is frightening. Like, they didn't have a full rest before they went into the second battle. So not only were they battling the Tomb Takers, a group that is categorically stronger, right? Evidently stronger than them. Not only are they battling that group, but they're battling that group when they're in a weakened state. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that was, but a really cute, a really, really, for how intense and like anxiety inducing this episode was. A really, really cute moment was when, was during the first battle. Jester, I think she did a heal spell on Ford, which gave him 70 points of health or something like that. And after the battle, he kissed her in front of everyone, and it was just so adorable. Ugh, my heart, my non-existent heart was just beating so fast. It was so cute. Essentially, I'm looking through my tweets, and one of my tweets was the Tomb Takers essentially did a Mighty Nine, which is true. They basically pulled the Mighty Nine, just snuck up on someone and stole their thing. Oh my god. Side note, Caduceus is so underrated. Like, within the Mighty Nine and even outside the Mighty Nine, he's just so underrated. Anyway. So yeah, like, talking about Lucian, actually, that's something I specifically want to talk about. Before this episode, I was fascinated by Lucian. He's an interesting character. Excuse me. It's very interesting to watch a character that we loved, Molly Monk, and we go through the traumatic experience of losing that character, mourning that character, and then having the hope of that character being brought back, but in a perverse, twisted way. And so we hold on to that hope that maybe Molly Monk is going to come back. Now, from the very beginning, okay, like I tweeted about this. I said, I don't have hope that Molly is going to come back. I just don't think so, right? They said something like, Nonagon is Lucian's rabies. So Lucian is the original, and Molly was just, I think, my theory was just Molly is an addition that Vesta Rogna did to get away, to get rid of, when she got rid of Lucian. So I never thought, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if any of this makes sense, but I never thought that that Molly was going to come back. but I was always fascinated by Lucien as a villain, because it's very interesting, because he was playing this sort of flirty, sort of cool, coy, sort of like, like, I'm very strong, like super imposing, very confident, like, yet, evil guy. You know what I mean? Like, he was teasing the Mighty Nine. He was playing with them. He was toying with them. And they were even playing back with him, and with the, with gestures, card reading, and tarot reading, gestures, tarot reading, and like even how they were able to shake him. So there was this back and forth, and like the dynamic is so interesting, because of course you can see the characters who are holding out hope that maybe they'll get their friend back. But I was like, nah, he's not coming back. But after this episode, oh my gosh, I hate Lucien. Like, not as much as I hate Otis, because seriously, fuck Otis with all my heart. Like, ooh, Otis is the worst. Otis is the worst. But like, after this episode, I really hated Lucien, because I realized that I cared more about the Mighty Nine than I do about, even Lucien or even Molly. Right? And like, in this episode, he really tortured them, because they let him into and like, it really felt like a betrayal, because they let him into the tower. I think maybe the reason why they let him to the tower is because they thought they were trying to, use that to convert him back to Molly, but he was just using that to get close to them the entire time. He just wanted to get close to them enough just so he could get the threshold crest, or whatever the item is called. And the betrayal felt so visceral. And I was just like, that son of a bitch, when it happened. And how smug he was, and how like, and also earlier on in the first fight, when Bo was taken by the dragon and she was gonna be killed, Lucien was like, well, let's leave her for the dragon. Like, she's lost, she's a lost cause. We can't do anything. And I was like, oh my god. And that's how I like this episode solidified my hatred for Lucien as a villain. And like, I just love how Matt played this character. A round of applause for the Critical Role people. They're amazing. This is some really, really amazing next level stuff. It's so amazing. I had so much fun watching it and having many panic attacks during this episode. I'm just going through my tweets to see maybe there's something I missed out or something like that. Oh yeah, I thought this episode was going to be the TPK episode. I really did think it was going to be the TPK episode. Because what was this episode? I think that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. I don't know. Maybe as time goes by, this will become more orderly and more organized. But that was 5 hours and 30 minutes of pure epicness. And it was amazing. And it was fun. I had so much fun. I don't know. I hope this... We'll see where we go with this little, Thursday night. Well, Friday morning, because it's currently 10 a.m. right now. Friday morning sort of discussion type of thing. I really like this, less stressed out. I'm less worried about editing, and I like this free form, and I can just sort of talk and not be worried about talking points. It's just for fun. I just want to talk about it. It's my current obsession. And as with all the esoteric shit that I'm into, nobody in my life really gets it. Nobody in my life is really into it. So I hope this can turn into a thing. Maybe it can turn into like a little, how they have Plumbing the Death Star podcasts, and where you discuss let's discuss every episode, or how Wisecrack discusses every episode of South Park or Rick and Morty, but less sort of highbrow and more chaotic, on brand. But yeah, this was really fun. Fuck Otis, fuck Lucien. Oh my gosh, I feel so scared for the Mighty Nine. And at the end of the day, they even completely forgot about the bag of holding. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, they completely forgot about the bag of holding. Oh my god. Like, toward the end, it became less about getting back the bag of holding and more about just escaping. Like, the whole time they were just focusing on, let's just escape, let's just escape, let's just escape, let's just escape. And nobody was even talking about the bag of holding anymore. And they took this huge risk to go after them. And it didn't pan out. Anyway. Yeah. This was really fun. Hopefully I will do this again next week. Maybe this can be like a consistent thing on this channel. Yeah, and maybe even in the future, I could, like, I don't know, have guests that we talk about this. But, I know, if you watch the episode, leave your reactions in the comments. Let's discuss some theories. I want to be part of the critter community at large, but I suck at art. So maybe this might be my way of, my into the critter community. Anyway, thanks for listening, I guess. Catch you guys later.